What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I have another Fallout 76 video for you guys here today. Today I'm going to be talking about heavy weapons, and we're going to be doing a damage test of all of the heavy weapons in the game to see how they perform and where they stack up against each other in a ranked list. So before we get into that, why heavy weapons now? Well, heavy weapons have become more popular than ever in this game, and that's largely due in part to the raid launch, as heavy weapons are by far the best weapons to use in the raid, as they work well with power armor, they have high DPS, and they have very large magazine sizes, which means you don't have to reload as often. So with all that out of the way, which heavy weapon is actually the best in Fallout 76? Is it the Galleon Plasma? Is it the minigun? Is it the flamer? Well, I'm going to answer all those questions for you guys in a very easy to unpack video, so let's get into it. Starting off, this video will be a lot like my other damage test videos I've done for the commando weapons and the Galleon Plasma specifically, but I'm going to be changing up how I calculate damage in this video. For those of you who have seen my other DPS testing videos, this will be pretty similar in format. However, I am changing how I calculate damage by, instead of doing 1 and 2 mag DPS, I'm going to be doing how much damage and how many bullets these weapons can spit out in a span of 40 seconds. I chose 40 seconds because I thought this was a relatively good time to test, but I think people would get the picture after 40 seconds anyway. Why not? Let's do 40 seconds. Now, with that explained, let's move on to the weapons themselves and what exactly legendary effects I'm using on the weapons. The legendary effects I will be using on every single weapon in this video is bloodied, 25% faster fire rate, 15% faster reload, and pinpointers. I am using these legendary effects on all the weapons because they're the ones I believe fit heavy weapons the best and give you the best overall damage. Of course, you can change legendary effects if you would like, however the results would not change. Moving on to legendary armor, the only effect that really matters here is rangers because it's the only one that increases your damage. I had a full set of rangers on my power armor for testing. Again, just to reiterate, if you are looking for specifically damage testing using the aristocrats or anti-armor effects for example, those will not be in the video for all of the weapons, but I do want to reassure you that if you were testing the same weapons with the same role, all of them would be in the same order as the weapons that are being ranked in this video because it's all the same legendary effects on the same base weapon. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page before we move forward. Alright, another big topic is why rapid over vital? Well, in my previous damage testing videos, I found that the 25% faster fire rate, aka rapid, outperforms vital in every situation except for overall damage. However, we're not measuring for overall damage because DPS is the factor that determines how fast you can kill something, while overall damage just factors in how much damage you did over the entire span of your DPS. For example's sake, here is a clip of me doing my damage test. All I did was shoot the mag until 40 seconds ran out. And I just factored in how many shots I shot within that 40-second time span. The cryolator is the weapon being used in the clip with the crystallized barrel attachment, and that is what you will be seeing in the damage rankings, is the damage using this setup. I will let the clip play out and then we'll move on to the next section of the video. Now that I have gotten all of the preliminary stuff out of the way, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the video. What are the damage numbers? Well, I'll go ahead and pop those on screen for you right now. So starting off, we have the 50 cal, the cryolator, the Gatling gun, the Galleon Plasma, the Gauss minigun, the LMG, the minigun, the plasma caster, ultrasight Galleon laser, holy fire, and the Tesla cannon. These are the weapons I used for testing, and you can see the time it took them to shoot 40 shots, with their non-critical hits and their critical hit damage values, followed by the total damage and the overall DPS. Damage testing was of course conducted with all the perks you would expect to have on for, a heavy gunner build, those being things like stabilized, or using blight soup with the herbivore mutation, using overdrive, a magazine, and a big guns bobblehead, as well as using taking one for the team and making sure it's active for every damage test scenario. Moving on to the actual damage rankings, I went ahead and tested some extra weapons, and those were variants of the Galleon Plasma such as the aristocrats and anti-armor variants. And I went ahead and threw the Valkyrie 4-star weapon that drops from the Gleaming Depths raid so people can see how the stock version of that weapon compares to other heavies in the game. I also did an anti-armor plasma caster and anti-armor 50 cal for people to reference. Now that we have ran through all of the damage testing charts, let's go ahead and get some graphics put together so that we can easily explore what the top 3 heavy weapons were. So the top 3 heavy weapons were the Gatling Plasma, the Gauss Minigun, and the Holy Fire, all with the legendary effects as stated earlier in the video. It should be to no one's surprise that the Gatling Plasma reigns supreme, as it is still the best overall heavy weapon in the game, but it's nice to see how much better it is compared to the second place holder, the Gauss Minigun. So for people's future reference, they can see which weapon is worth investing into. I do want to point out that the ammunition that the Gauss Minigun uses is very expensive when compared to the Gatling Plasma's plasma core. The Holy Fire coming in 3rd place was not a surprise to me, but maybe a surprise to others, as it is a free weapon, so it's very easy to get. It's optimized for VATS damage now, and this weapon as a bonus can be used as a sneaking weapon, so sneaking perks like Covert Operative or Follow Through will actually work with the Flamer. So if you're looking to put together a stealth heavy gunner build, the Holy Fire can definitely be a weapon for that build. Moving on to the legendary effects, the bloody legendary effect of course reigns supreme, with aristocrats coming into 2nd place and anti-armor followed in 3rd place. I did not test something like executioners, but that very well could have taken over anti-armor as 3rd place, or maybe aristocrats as 2nd place. But of the ones tested, this is how they rank against each other. And again, if you were to test other weapons using these same effects, you would find that they fall into the same results, with bloodied as the 1st place, aristocrats as the 2nd, and anti-armor as the 3rd. Going back and taking a look at the damage chart one more time with the rankings, it is quite interesting to see how the LMG and the Holy Fire managed to make it into the top 3 and 4th place. The LMG is one of my favorite weapons as a heavy gunner player, so I'm happy to see that it's pretty high up there. The Ultrasight Gatling Laser with its recent buffs has shown itself to be a true contender in 5th place. The Plasma Caster by far had the best single target damage, and it definitely is a good weapon to use on a daily basis. However, for boss fights, I would steer clear of using the Plasma Caster and just favoring something like the Gatling Plasma, as it does do about 3 times the DPS of the Plasma Caster. The Tesla Cannon did not make it very far in this list, as the Tesla Cannon shoots very slow. While it does hit hard, that really does affect its DPS, as it's just not able to dump out that many shots in the 40-second time span. As you can see from the chart, it only managed to shoot off 32 shots in 40 seconds. Looking at the Cryolator, this weapon, while it did shoot off a lot of bullets, it just does not hit hard enough to be anywhere near a contender or weapon that anybody should really be investing into, at least with the crystallized barrel attachment. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was quite the endeavor to put together this video and have all the damage rankings as well as some of the graphics I put together, but I wanted to make this video as easy to digest as possible, so I hope I was successful in accomplishing that. If you guys do enjoy the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. I do like interacting with you guys in the comment section. I am quite active in there. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.